Yes lads, how you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today, boys and girls, I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester versus Arsenal match preview. So then, boys and girls, Leicester are now back in Premier League action once more, as of course on Wednesday night we had Carabao Cup action at the King Power Stadium as Leicester won. Once again, standard stuff, we are different gravy right now, people, as of course we beat Brighton in the end on penalties, progressing into the quarterfinals. However, our attention switches straight back to Premier League action. It's match day 10 of the new Premier League season as we welcome Mikel Arteta's Arsenal to the King Power Stadium. I would say Banter FC, but it's not really Banter FC, is it, boys? That's more like Manchester United, because, you know, Arsenal are looking pretty good right now. And let's hope Mikel Arteta doesn't produce an absolute Arteta masterclass tomorrow at home. Of course, both sides are on fantastic form heading into tomorrow's game at the King Power Stadium. For Leicester, last night in the Premier League course, we picked up a big 3 points away from home against Brentford, and for Arsenal, they beat Aston Villa 3-1 at the Emirates. So all that being said, boys and girls, and without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Let's discuss Leicester and Arsenal, and let's get straight into the match preview. Right then, to start things off then, my general thoughts heading into tomorrow's game. So first of all, to be honest, boys, I'm expecting a very tough game tomorrow against Arsenal. Arsenal are currently unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League games, so Mikel Arteta's men, of course, are going to be full of confidence going into tomorrow's game against Leicester. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Mikel Arteta's Arsenal deal with a much better opponent in Leicester in tomorrow's game. But of course, on the opposite of that, Leicester are looking pretty decent themselves right now as well. You know, we'll be full of confidence going into the game, and we'll be looking to get another big 3 points at home against a big side in Arsenal. I'm expecting it to be a very open game tomorrow. Both these sides like to attack, and both these sides do like to concede a lot of goals as well. So for me, there's definitely going to be a lot of goals in tomorrow's game, a lot of big chances, and overall it should be a very entertaining game to watch once again. Leicester have scored at least 1 goal in every single Premier League game so far this season, apart from the game against Manchester City. So of course, we all know Leicester like to attack, get on the front foot. You know, if Leicester can do that tomorrow, I think we can cause some real problems to that pretty shaky Arsenal defence. Of course, we'll get into my predicted lineup in a few moments' time, but you know, if Leicester stick with the 2 strikers up front, if that's Iheanacho or Vardy or Daka or whoever plays up front, you know, I think that the double strike force will be able to cause that Arsenal defence some serious problems as well, as the 2 wing backs can push up as well, and overall we can create a lot of overloads going forward. But on the opposite of that, you know, Arsenal could get a lot of joy going forward and counter-attacking against, you know, Leicester's pretty weak defence. Of course, Leicester's defence has improved a lot in recent weeks, but you know, overall we are still looking very shaky. And for me, do I think Leicester will keep a clean sheet in tomorrow's game? Not at all. But Leicester's last clean sheet in the Premier League came on the opening day of the season, where we picked up a clean sheet and of course to win against Wolves. So we'll be looking to get a clean sheet tomorrow, but overall it's probably not going to happen. So on the balance of things going into tomorrow's game, I'm fairly confident that Leicester can pick up a decent result from the game. A point, you know, wouldn't be the worst results, but I think the 3 points are definitely up for grabs in tomorrow's game against Arsenal. You know, I'm fairly confident that Leicester can do so, because right now, you know, we're on top form. Yes, Arsenal are on good form as well, but the home advantage for Leicester, the fans behind the players, and overall, you know, Leicester are looking in fantastic form right now. But as always, boys and girls, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How are you guys feeling going into tomorrow's game? Let me know in the comment section down below. So moving things on, it's now time to look at some stats between Leicester and Arsenal going into tomorrow's game. Leicester have won 4 of the past 7 Premier League games against Arsenal following a 22-match winless run. Leicester could win 3 successive league games for the first time since their opening 3 fixtures of 2021. The Foxes have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 15 league games, but they failed to score in only 1 of those matches. Whereas for Arsenal, they are unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League matches, having lost their opening 3 games of the season by an aggregate of 9-0. So we're going, boys and girls, that's some interesting stats there between Leicester and Arsenal going into tomorrow's game. Yeah, it's now time to jump straight into my predicted lineup. But just before we do that, let's look at some of the big headlines from Brendan Rodgers' pre-match press conference today at Seagrave. Brendan Rodgers says Jamie Vardy is fit to play this weekend. He was taken off at half-time against Brentford, but Rodgers said he has been training throughout the week. And some more injury news. Brendan Rodgers says there may be a question mark on Ricardo Pereira. He felt a bit tight. Youri Perez has had a bug, so is kept away today. Apart from that, all players are fit and healthy. So we're going, boys and girls, that's the main headlines then from Brendan Rodgers' press conference. Jamie Vardy is looking fully fit for tomorrow's game. Ricardo Pereira is a doubt, and probably no Youri Perez as well. So jumping straight into my predicted lineup then for tomorrow's game. Just before I do, as always, let me know your predicted lineups in the comment section down below. What team should Brendan Rodgers go with? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But as always, starting things off then with the formation. For me, we're going to have to stick with the 3-5-2 formation. You know, it has worked recently. So yeah, why not change? It's working, so yeah, there's no reason to really change it, is there? But yeah, starting things off then in goal, of course, we'll be going with the main man of Schmeichel, who of course got a rest in midweek for the game against Brighton. So then moving into the back three then for tomorrow's game against Arsenal, for me this will be unchanged from the back three, which started against Brentford. So of course Johnny Evans in the middle of that, holding it together, the key man, and of course either side we have the likes of Carabao and Daniel Amati. For me, no Yannick Vestergaard because he ain't really that great, is he, boy? So for me, Soonchu, Amati, Evans should be the back three tomorrow, because them three have been pretty solid in recent weeks. So then moving out wide then into the two wing backs then for tomorrow's game. Right hand side, we'll be going with Timothy Castagne to come across. Of course, Ricardo Pereira is a slight doubt for the game. I can't really see Brendan risking it, so for me, Castagne will move to that right wing back slot. On the left, we'll be going with Ryan Bertrand to come into the side. Of course, he played midweek against Brighton. Of course, Bertrand, hardly experienced, so for me, Birch will start on the left hand side, and if not Birch, we could see Luke Thomas potentially start on that left hand side as well. So then moving into the midfield three, starting things off then in the holding role, we'll be going with Boubakary Soumaré. Of course, Bouba has been fantastic since he guys came in. Of course, Ndidi is back in training, but he will not be fit enough to play against Arsenal. More advanced, we'll be going with the star man of Youri Tilemans. Full rest him against Brighton on Wednesday. So for me, of course, Youri will be fully ready, fully fit for the game, and hopefully the star man can bag another goal against Arsenal on the weekend. A slightly more advanced, we'll be going with James Maddison. Of course, didn't start against Brighton, but came on and scored his penalty in a penalty shootout. Of course, Maddison also scored against Brentford last week as well. So yeah, in the midfield, we're going with Soumaré, Tilemans, and James Maddison. And finally, boys and girls, moving into the two strikers, we'll be going with the combination of Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. In my opinion, of course, Vardy fully fit for the game against Arsenal. He loves a goal against Arsenal. For me, Vardy simply has to start. And for me, Iheanacho offers something slightly different to Patson Daka. So for me, we'll be going with the option of Iheanacho, but definitely Daka to feature off the bench. But yeah, up top, we're going with the strike force of Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho. So then, boys and girls, moving things on then, it's now time for the opposition side of things going into tomorrow's game. This week on the channel, we've got Arsenal fan Aaron from the channel 2BN Talks 40. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Link will be in the description down below. But yeah, he's going to come on the channel today, quickly speak about Arsenal. So yeah, mate, Aaron, take it away and let's see how Arsenal are looking going into tomorrow's game.
Yes, lads, it's 2BN Talks 40 here. And in today's video on the SPORTSA YouTube channel, it's a pleasure to be on, Josh. I'm here to preview the Leicester versus Arsenal match on Saturday. Two sides who are really starting to find their form this season. Leicester unbeaten in 5 in all competitions, finding their form in the Premier League and the Europa League as well into the last day of the Carabao Cup. Arsenal unbeaten since August, unbeaten in 9 in all competitions. We are absolutely flying at the moment, and from an Arsenal point of view, I think we are so ready to go down to the King Power Stadium and hopefully cause some damage to a Leicester side who are really finding their feet under Brendan Rodgers. They had a very rocky start, as did we, of course, but both sides are coming into their own a bit. Well, a lot actually now this season. This should be a very good battle. I think it will end in a draw, but if a team were to nick it, all bias aside, it would be my boys Arsenal. I'm going to say Leicester 0, Arsenal 0, which is ironic considering the very good form both teams are in. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that both sides are in very decent form, but just in case I haven't, we are both absolutely flying. I don't know, I just feel like it will just be a very close game, to be honest with you. There's nothing really more to it. There'll be a lot of chances, but both sides have some very good keepers. Kasper Schmeichel and Aaron Ramsdale, who will hopefully start for Arsenal on Saturday. They are, for me, two of the best keepers in the moment in the Premier League, and I think they will steal the show. Jamie Vardy loves a goal against Arsenal, so don't rule that one out either. But I'm going for a stalemate. I hope I'm wrong. Leicester, worst of luck. Josh, bring it on. Hopefully we cause an upset at Leicester and get a result. Pleasure to be on the SPORTSA channel, Josh. Thank you ever so much for having me on. I will see you lot very soon. Up the bloody Gunners.
So again, boys and girls, that's it then for the Arsenal side of things going into tomorrow's game. A big thanks to Aaron for coming on the channel. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Link will be in the description down below, boys and girls. But yeah, quickly ending things off there, my score prediction. As always, let me know your score predictions for tomorrow's game in the comment section down below. For me, I'm going to go over Leicester win. I'm going to go over Leicester 2, Arsenal 1 in my opinion. Goal scorer rise, Vardy to score and Tilemans to score once again. And for Arsenal, we'll be going with Aubameyang to score because he always seems to score against Leicester. So for me, 2-1 tomorrow, and hopefully Leicester can secure another big 3 points. So then, boys and girls, that's it for today's video. Of course, in today's video, I bring you guys the Leicester versus Arsenal match preview and predicted lineup for tomorrow's game at the King Power Stadium, a massive game in the Premier League. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, let me know by dropping a like, subscribe as well to the channel if you guys haven't already. Let me know your thoughts and opinions going into tomorrow's game in the comment section down below, boys and girls. But yeah, I'm SPORTSA, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.